Hey guys, welcome back to another Glam video. Today we are going to be doing another holiday look, but it is going to be full coverage and it's going to be more of like a soft glam. And of course, I'm using one of my new favorites. So like I mentioned, this is very full coverage. So if you have melasma, dark spots, hyperpigmentation, scars, anything like that, this look is going to cover it and get you feeling your best. So I won't bore you with anything else. Let's just jump right into the makeup. Oh, and before I forget, I will list and link everything down below in the description. So just go into that description box and you'll see everything that I used listed out below. So if you're curious, you can go ahead and just click on the link so you're not searching around. So we're gonna do very full coverage today, but I do want to add a little bit of like a glowy base so that the foundation doesn't look so cakey and dry, especially in the winter. Like if you have dry skin, maybe put on a little moisturizer depending on how your skin is. So I'm gonna use, this is the Becca Backlight Primer. I don't think that you can even get this anymore. Another like drugstore primer I really like is the Angel Veil, or like anything that has like almost like a little glisten. If you wanna do this type of a step, if you don't, totally fine, you don't have to, you can just go right in with the foundation. But I love this because it does make your skin look really nice and hydrated. So today I'm gonna be using the Estee Lauder. This is the Double Wear Maximum Cover. So this is the most full coverage foundation, in my opinion, that you can get that still makes your skin like look skin-like and smooth and just really pretty. But there is a couple tricks to applying this, which I'll share in a minute, but I just wanted to provide some other options. So the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 is also a really good full coverage foundation that you can get at the drugstore. The Tarte Double Duty is a good full coverage one. It's a little bit more expensive. They have a really, really good shade range for both of those. And then the last one that I'm gonna mention is the Infallible Total Cover by L'Oreal. This is super full coverage. They're all great full coverage foundations. So I just wanted to give you a couple options of some of my favorites. So I have here the shade, this is Creamy Vanilla, and then I also have a Creamy Tan. And I feel like I'm kind of in between, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna do Creamy Tan and hope that it doesn't oxidize. That's one of the things with this foundation is it does dry down, and it tends to dry down a little bit darker. So you wanna make sure you get the right shade match, and also when you are applying this foundation, I like to use a brush. I think it works the best because a beauty blender tends to take a little bit more time. With a brush, you can move very quickly. That said, it could take some more time like getting used to the technique of using a brush, but you wanna make sure you're moving very fast because it does dry down very quickly. And some of the feedback that I've gotten on this foundation is that it dried down very quickly and people weren't able to blend it very fast. So I just put it on here, as you can see. And you gotta move quick. So there's not a lot of time for talking, and I'm gonna try to do it quickly. My technique is to kind of rub it on, but then to also stipple it, like kind of pat it in so that it's nice and smooth. And then of course, always kind of blend it down into your neckline, and especially around the eyes, just kind of pat that down. So because it dries down super fast, I typically do like sections. So I'll do like this right side, then I'll do like the forehead and the left side to make sure that we're blending nice and even. And I will say that the scent, I mean, it's not horrible, but it definitely is not, how do I explain it? I don't want to say it's like paint-like, but it's definitely not like a fresh, you know, foundation scent. It's not awful, but it's not my favorite. So I like the coverage it gives me with just one application. And if you wanna see how much I'm applying specifically, it's a squirt bottle, so I'm kind of just like squirting a little bit on the brush. If you wanna put it on your finger and then kind of wipe and do that, I probably wouldn't do that because like I said, it's gonna dry down very quick and you wanna work in sections because of how fast it does dry down. All right, moving on to concealer. So for full coverage concealer, I love the Sharp.
Nice.
Imagine it was called the Sharp Tape. I love the Tarte Shape Tape. So I don't have much to cover because I use this foundation, but I'm going to maybe just cover a couple of the dark spots where they are. Maybe there's a little bit peeking through, and then obviously my under eyes. So this double wear foundation is awesome to cover scars, melasma, hyperpigmentation, any kind of trouble areas that you have on your face going on that make you feel insecure, you just don't like it, or you just want to cover it. This foundation covers it all. All right, so I am going to just hit a couple of the spots that do tend to peek through. And then of course, get like my bags under here. So it doesn't have to be perfect because we're gonna blend everything out. And this is very forgiving, easy to work with. And then I just like to put a little bit of a brighter shade just in like the inner corners, like so. And then I'm gonna blend all this in to my eyelids as well to use for primer. All right, so I'm just gonna blend this out. And then I like to take a angled brush to blend in the concealer. It's just easier. Push it into the skin, do a stipple, and then pull it up and out. So for the under eyes, I'm gonna use the Laura Mercier today. I just think it does a really nice job to set the under eyes. I also really like the NYX Banana Powder drugstore. It's like $10. It's really nice, really brightening and smoothing. And like I said, it's only $10, but I'm actually out of that, surprisingly. So here we are. So I'm just gonna put a little bit here and just set that away. And then with some extra powder here, I'm gonna get around the mouth. So I am going to be using a liquid blush today. I'm gonna do the bronzer and the blush, and then last I'm gonna do powder just like on my forehead and here, because I don't want it to mess up the rest of my face. And with this foundation, like I'm really not having to worry about looking oily or greasy or anything like that, because it is more of like a matte to natural finish. So I'm using the L'Oreal bronzer today, and I like to just use it on a brush and kind of like squeeze it. So then I can carve out my cheekbone, and then I blend it up into my temple. Just gives it like that nice lifted effect. I'm gonna take it into my hairline. I swear, I feel like I'm losing hair. I can just like spray that with like some of that root touch up or something. What are you gonna do? Now I'm just gonna kind of do a W here. And then of course, massage it into my neck. Okay, so for blush, I got, which I've been eyeing for a very long time, the Joy blush from Rare Beauty. So pretty. It is so pigmented though. I got it in this Selena's Faves set. Came 4 things, came with a really pretty lip souffle in the shade Confident that we're gonna use today. I didn't think that this was like gonna look right. Like I thought it was gonna be too much, and I can't stop wearing it. And then also this really pretty highlighter, I figured it would be nice to try out in the shade Mesmerize. And then also her mascara, which I've heard mixed reviews about. So I'm just opening it now. I'm gonna definitely use a lash primer with this. It does have a big, nice, fluffy wand. I've read reviews that it's not great unless you have like naturally longer, thicker lashes. So it might work for me. So we'll see. I'll let you know like my reviews in comparison to some of my favorite mascaras like the L'Oreal Lash Paradise, and see, you know, how it kind of competes there. So for the blush, it is such a pretty shade, and I love that it came with the mini option because I never use like a ton of blush. I never get through it. And I love, love, love her blush formula. It is so pretty. I am going to dot a tiny bit onto my cheek, just literally 1 dab because it's bright and it's pigmented. So we're just gonna do 1 dot there and 1 dot here. So I didn't put any powder in that area, which I feel like really helps. And I like to use just like a regular dome, I guess, powder brush. I don't know who makes this or anything like that. And we're just gonna push it in, stipple it in, and pull it up. That's the only thing about this blush, especially if you have powder products, it tends to settle in and break up any products you have underneath, but it might not be that bad, so we'll just go with it. But literally, you can see 1 dot got so much on the cheeks. All right, that's done. and I like it. We can always add more, but this look is definitely gonna be more like a soft glam and not so intense, hopefully, like the last one was. Here is that highlighter. I don't know if it's technically considered highlighter. It's called Liquid Luminizer. Super pretty, super creamy. Let's see how it looks on the face. You know what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna apply it to my middle finger and my ring finger instead of applying it directly onto my face, and then tap it in. And I'm just gonna go right above where I put that blush down. And so I'm applying with these two fingers. Now I'm going back with my pointer finger and just kind of pressing it down, and then we'll see. I don't know, maybe it's not the right shade for me. I don't really see it. I could see where it would be like so pretty, almost like that RMS or whatever, you know, that liquid luminizer, the RMS, like just very gentle. But if you're liking a more highlighted look, like that looks pretty. Let's see how this blends in. It's blending in better on this side. So I just moved my lighting over a bit because maybe it was creating a shadow. There's a subtle glow. Do I love it? Do I need more? I think I need a little more. So we're probably gonna add a little bit more. So I'm just gonna use the Milani really pretty baked highlighter. Very, very stunning color, like a very pretty gold. So I'm gonna top it right on top of where I put the luminizer. I just feel like I needed to add something like that had more of a glow to it. And that looks really pretty. All right, so before I move on to eyeshadow, I'm just gonna fix up my eyebrows, and I'm gonna use the Anastasia. I just ordered 2 of these in like the Sephora pack. It was such a good deal. I don't know if they have it in stock, but I will link both the Rare Beauty set and this one down below if you wanna check it out. This is the way to buy it because stuff's expensive. My drugstore pencil that I really like, I use all the time, is this CoverGirl one, and mine is in this shade Soft Brown. So my shade for the brow is medium brown. And I'm just gonna fill in like any of these sparse areas really quick. I will say that this definitely is more waxier, and when you brush it through the hairs with like this brush, I just feel like because of the waxier texture, it maybe looks a little bit more realistic. And for eyes, we're gonna do something like really simple, really glam, because I wanna make it more about lips today. So I am torn in between which palette to use. I can either use the Tarte Juicy palette and go in with like some of these warmer bronze shades, or we can use the Anastasia Soft Glam palette, or we can do a mix. So one of my favorite drugstore palettes are the e.l.f. palettes. I like this big one. This is the New Classics. There's a couple of really, really pretty colors that we could do. We could do like this Darling shade. And then I also like their little bite-sized palettes. So if you don't want to spend a bunch, or if you don't have this stuff on hand and you want to do a look like this, just run out and get one of the e.l.f. palettes. They work just as good. So I think I'm going to do a mix. We're going to start with the Soft Glam palette, and I'm going to go in with the shade Burnt Orange, which is right here. And I'm also going to take that shade and sweep it under the eye. Just kind of ties everything together and softens it up. So I'm just using, this is just a very nice, soft, fluffy brush. I think it's perfect for beginners, and it's very easy to use. I'll link some of my favorite brush sets down below. All right, we're gonna go under the eyes with this shade Tempera. Not under the eyes, under the eyebrow. Just kind of highlight that, and then I like to just kind of blend down in here. So for a lid shade, I'm kind of torn. So I'm gonna swatch this shade Bronze right here, which is really pretty. The shade Shine, and then maybe this one, and just kind of figure out what we wanna do here. The middle shade is Shine from the Tarte Juicy palette, and then that's one of the other colors. So I'm gonna take the shade Dawn, and I'm gonna focus it more on like the inner portion of the lid, and there's so much fallout. I totally forgot about that with this shade. You can just see like chunks of fallout. So you gotta be really careful. You might even wanna put like a little Fix Plus on your finger before you do this. And hope for the best. So I'm not gonna mess with it yet. I'm just gonna take the brush that I use to set my under eye and then I'll just sweep it away and hope for the best. Most of the time that works great. So super pretty, easy, anyone can do it. And then we're gonna go in with the shade Bronze right here. And I'm just gonna take that with my finger. I want this look to be very easy to recreate and just tap it on the outer. So I'm gonna sweep this away and see how that goes. And I think that we're gonna do a tiny wing with some black liner. All right, so it kind of worked, but there's definitely a little bit of shimmer like right here, but it's nothing that's, like it is what it is. So what are you gonna do? Anyway, so the Rare Beauty eyeliner, I really wish it came in that set, but it didn't. So I don't have that to try, but I really wanted to try it. I heard really great things about it. So we're gonna use liquid liner. I really like the Stila one. And then I also really like the Benefit Roller Lash one. Now I don't do liner a lot, but we're gonna do a little bit today. I also like to use like a deep brown. Sometimes that is really pretty and it's just like gentle. And this step is totally optional. Like you don't have to do this at all. I'm just gonna do it, why not? And notice how like these windows, now it's like dark out. So I just have the one artificial light and I feel like there's less shadows now. So just a tiny baby wing. I'm not a huge fan of a big wing on me. I guess I'm just not used to it. So I guess I just have to do it more and I'll get used to the way it looks. I don't know. So for mascara, we're gonna try out that Rare Beauty mascara and I'm excited to see how it works. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna do on one side, I'm gonna use the primer first and then on the other side, I'm gonna use no primer. So we're gonna see if there's any difference at all. And of course I am just curling my lashes prior. And then sometimes I like to curl my lashes after, but we'll see. So I'm gonna use primer on the right side here and we're gonna see if it makes any difference. So primer on and let's move on to the mascara. So this is the black. We're gonna go right in. So that's one coat. I'm gonna dip back in and we're gonna go into my left lashes and we're gonna see how it performs with no primer. All right, so here is the left side compared to the side with the primer. What do you think? Do you see any difference? I'm gonna go in with one more coat on each and then we'll be back to see. I feel like it definitely applies very nice with a primer as opposed to without a primer. It's definitely giving my lashes a little bit more. And I do think it's a good mascara, don't get me wrong. I do think it's a good mascara. But as of right now, like, does it take the place of my top 3? No, it doesn't. And I do know sometimes like the travel size in comparison to the full size, it's a total different game. And also as the formula dries out, it does tend to perform a little bit better. So there's that to take into consideration. But I mean, I think it's a nice mascara. But again, I feel like mascaras are so subjective, like depending on your needs and what kind of lashes you have, different mascaras are gonna work for you different than they work for me. All right, so for the lips, this product is awesome. I already said I love it. So I don't have a liner that is quite that color. I was just kind of like playing around with them. But I am gonna use one of my favorites, and this is the Wet n Wild, and it is the shade Bear to Comment. It is a really nice creamy liner from the drugstore. It's so affordable. My lips are like so dry and I'm still on my Invisalign. I have like 6 weeks left. I can't wait to whiten them after this whole thing is up. So I'm gonna start with just overlining a little bit on my Cupid's bow area. So this is just gonna give your lip more of a lifted appearance so your mouth doesn't look kind of dragged down. Like you can already tell, it looks like my lip kind of got a lift. So I'm just overlining right in here. And then I'm gonna follow my natural lip line and then kind of take it in. You don't wanna go outside your lip area down here, otherwise you're gonna look like a, I don't even know the word. It's just not gonna look right. It's gonna look like it's pulling your mouth down. And then on the bottom lip, I'm just gonna overline this area. And when I say overline, I'm not like drawing up here. I'm just kind of going outside my natural lip line. So just in this bottom portion, and then I'm gonna go back up into my natural lip line and kind of pull it in. So in my opinion, I think that this technique for doing your lips is the most realistic looking, like overlining technique. Some of the other ones just doesn't look natural. So going in with the shade Confidence here, this is like a melted lipstick in a tube. That's how I would describe it. I don't know how else to describe it. So it is her lip souffle. Just gonna go right over where I put the liner down. And it smells really nice too. It's like the perfect red orange. Never thought that I would like this color for me, and I put it on and I couldn't even believe it. I'm like, nah, maybe in the summer, like with a tan, I'll like it. And I definitely didn't think that I would like it, but I love it. It's so comfortable. I can't wear it with my Invisalign. It does get like all over my retainers, but that's with everything. And then I have like these little nodule things on my teeth that it's kind of getting caught on, which is unfortunate, but I only have 6 more weeks, but it is so pretty and it's so comfortable, so easy to apply. Definitely don't even think you need a lip liner. It kind of has a nice rounded edge, so if you wanted to kind of get in there and carve out like a lip liner, you could totally do so, and it lasts a really long time, which is awesome. So this lip is definitely one of my favorites from her line. So I actually did my hair and I straightened it, which never happens because I wanted to do a different type of a look, like something that I haven't done in a while. So I went with the straight hair look, and I just have like some of these flyaways. It's been so long since I've had a haircut. My hair is really long and I need to get it cut. I love this hairspray. It is the Got2b Flex Insta Hold hairspray. I love that it's not like crunchy. I use it for everything. I use it for my daughter when I do her hair for her gym meets. I just have like some of these flyaways that I'm just gonna kind of tame down. It doesn't get like crunchy. It holds very well, but it's like a flexible hairspray. Hence why they call it Flex Hold. So if you didn't see my holiday glam series video, I have parts 1 and 2. The first video is for my tanning routine for the holidays, and the second video is like a very glam, like I went with like a full black glittery smoky eye, just like very over the top with like a nude lip, more like tan skin glowy look. I'll link it for you up above and down below, and then I'll also link the playlist series down below so you can check that out too. So today's look was definitely more toned down, but still glam with like the red lip for the holidays. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye guys. Whew. I just missed the chair. Oh, what is going on? Like, what is this? I took that. To avoid like a weird, now it looks just ignore that. Where's my mirror? I'm like losing everyone. I was falling off the chair, losing my mirror. It's so hot in here.
Hold up, I am on my way. I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing.